All right, guys, wanted to go over all of the cleaning jobs with you. Hopefully this won't take too long, but should be pretty self-explanatory. If you have cleaning jobs 1 through 6, okay, you're gonna be asked to wipe off a table with a damp sponge and a dustpan, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk over to the sink. Sorry for the jittery camera, okay? We'll get it rinsed out. Make sure that when you get your sponge, okay, you don't have a bunch of water in it so that as you're walking across the room, okay, you're dripping water all over the place. So get water on the floor, and that will cause you to, people to slip and that sort of thing. When we're cleaning off our tables, all right, what I want you to do is also grab a dustpan. Just like so, all right? Any of the tools and stuff like that, you can move that stuff out of the way if you need to. Hopefully people will be picking that stuff up. But as you can see here, okay, I've got a bunch of dust and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna sweep that or wipe that into my dustpan that is on the other side of the table here. And then that's just gonna go ahead and go in the trash. If you have, and I'll do that whole table, wipe it down. Don't just sweep it onto the floor. If you sweep it onto the floor, the problem is that now it gets on the floor and then people shuffle their feet around and we get more dust. Not to mention it makes it more difficult for my janitor to sweep everything up. So please make sure if you have tables 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, use a dustpan and a damp sponge. When you're done, make sure everything gets back to where it belongs. The dustpan goes up here in the black basket in the front of the room, and then the sponges, okay, bring it back here, rinse it out. Sometimes I just dip it into the bucket that's in the sink, okay, so that we can put that away. All right. If you're wondering what table you're sitting at or what table you're responsible for, okay, if you look up on the ceiling, you can see that there's a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, and back over here we've got number 4. Number 5 doesn't hang, it just is actually on the ceiling. And then number 6 is right here. So you can find your tables pretty easily. If you have number 7 is going to be the slab roller. Slab roller is this piece of machinery over here. Okay. It's going to be used to roll out large slabs of clay. It should look exactly like it does right now. If you want to go the extra mile, you can give the painted blue areas a little bit of a wipe down. To make sure that everything looks nice and neat. But for the most part, we just want to make sure there's nothing on there that doesn't belong there. Chunks of clay, tools, that kind of stuff. So please make sure that that is cleaned up nice and neat. If you have numbers 8, 9, or 10, you're going to bag the scrap clay on tables 1 and 2, 3 and 4, or 5 and 6. Anything larger than a golf ball, as long as the clay is still soft, that's going to be your responsibility. I'm asking you guys to pick that up and bring it and put it into one of the bags up front. Make sure it goes into a bag and not just piled up on the table, so that way it will stay wet and soft enough so that we can continue using it. If you have number 8, you're responsible for all that clay on tables 1 and 2. If you have number 9, you have responsible for tables 3 and 4, and number 10, you're responsible for the clay on table 5 and 6. Again, you're not necessarily there to pick up after people. They should put away their own things, but if they do have some clay out, it'll help them get cleaned up a little bit quicker. Okay. Number 11, yes, move all the slip bowls under the counter next to the sink. So we're going to walk over here. Here is my sink, okay? And then in this first cabinet, if we open this up, down there you'll see all kinds of bowls and cups and that sort of thing. We use these for water, anything like this, okay? These little yogurt cups and stuff like that. Pretty much what you'll do is you'll look around the room. If there's any around the room, you'll pick it up, take the water, dump it out, okay? And then just stack that in here. Make sure you close the cupboard door when you're done. And it's that easy, okay? Number 12, okay? As it says here, clean the sink and the sink area. Put away any tools that are found in there. So just make sure that there aren't any tools in the bottom of the sink. These sticks that are down here, okay? Leave those there. Those are gonna be for keeping these buckets off the drain so that the water will still get out. Or will go down the drain. I would like it if you would stack the sponges, nice and neat. They all do fit in here as long as they're all stood up on end. The little sponges go over on the one next to the paper towel dispenser, but all the rest of those should fit like that. This allows the sponges to drain the water out, and it'll keep them safe longer. Make sure the paintbrushes, the palettes, okay, stuff for glazing, all that stuff is put away. The plants, don't worry about that, I'll move those. Okay. Number 13 says wipe down the yellow counter and put away all glaze tools. We haven't started glazing yet, but the glaze tools are going to be anything that's in this bucket here. Usually it's the mixing sticks. These screens work really good for cleaning up the glazes. We'll talk about that later on. And then the dipping tongs that we have here. Just make sure all of these tools are in that bin right there. And then the yellow counter, just give it a quick wipe down if it's got any clay, dirt, or anything like that on it. Now, one thing that may end up happening is that there will be a number of projects all over this as people are turning stuff in some days. If that's the case, don't worry about wiping down the counter. Just make sure that it's as clean as you can get it. I don't want you to move projects in order to wipe down the counter. It's not that important to me. Okay, I would rather you not damage somebody's project because you had to do a cleaning job. All right, number 15, close all the cupboard doors. Oh wait, I skipped number 14. Number 14 here. It's gotten a little piece that got taken off by the number 1 got taken off by the hole punch. But what we're gonna have to do is match the glaze lids with the proper glaze buckets. Then wipe off all the lids to make sure all the names can be read. So over here in these buckets, these are our glazes, okay? And the main thing that we want to do is make sure that when we see a glaze color like Celadon Green, okay, is with the bucket that says Celadon Green, okay? As people use things, what tends to happen is the stuff goes like this, and then when they put the lids back on, a lot of times people don't really pay attention, okay? And so you go to look at the lid and you go, oh, lipstick purple, that's the color I want, because lipstick purple should come out looking like this. And then when you get your project back, you find out that your project now looks like this, okay? And the reason for that is because the lid says lipstick purple, but the side of the bucket says Celadon Green, okay? And for that reason, okay, we want to make sure that the lids are on the correct buckets, okay? And then also give them a quick wipe down with the sponge so that we can actually read those to make sure that we get those all on the correct one. All right, now number 15. Number 15 is going to be to close all the cupboard doors. So any cupboards, those down there, our storage cabinets over here, okay? And then along these, underneath this countertop over here, and where the shelves are, all of those cabinets there, just make sure the doors are closed. I know, I give you 5 points for closing doors. It's not that hard, okay?